500 trillion microbes live inside you, outnumbering your cells. You're more microbe than human. Think about it. Your body is a temple, inhabited by tiny creatures. They're running the show, influencing everything from digestion to mood. For instance, research on the Hadza people, an indigenous tribe in Tanzania, found that their gut microbiome contains a staggering 40% more diversity than that of the average American. This diversity is crucial, as it allows their bodies to better break down complex foods. You're just along for the ride, but what a fascinating ride it is. Meet the microbiome, the ecosystem of microorganisms living within you. It's a complex web of relationships, with microbes communicating and cooperating to keep you healthy. Surprisingly, the microbiome even produces some of the same neurotransmitters as your brain, such as serotonin and dopamine, which can affect your mood and behavior. As you go about your day, remember that you're not alone, you're a walking, talking ecosystem, with trillions of tiny inhabitants working together to keep you alive. The microbiome is a remarkable system, and understanding it can reveal the intricate, interconnected nature of your body. Your microbiome is like a garden, and just like a garden, it needs care and balance to flourish. You are the gardener, responsible for planting the right seeds, watering them, and harvesting the crop. In this case, the crop is your health. A healthy microbiome is like a well-tended garden. It's diverse, it's thriving, and it's teeming with life. You reap what you sow, so if you put in the good stuff, you'll get good results. For example, a study on the Hadza people, an indigenous tribe in Tanzania, found that their microbiome is incredibly diverse, with some individuals having over 1,000 different species of bacteria in their gut. This diversity is likely due to their traditional diet and lifestyle. Surprisingly, research has also shown that the microbiome can even influence your mood and cognitive function, with some studies suggesting that certain bacteria can produce neurotransmitters like serotonin. By taking care of your microbiome, you're not just improving your physical health, you're also supporting your mental well-being. So, what will you plant in your garden today? Will you choose a diverse range of fruits and vegetables, or will you stick to processed foods? The choice is yours, and it's one that can have a lasting impact on your health. Short-chain fatty acids are the key. They're produced by your microbiome, a complex network of microorganisms that call your gut home. They're the currency of the gut, and they buy you health in many ways. For example, butyrate, a specific type of short-chain fatty acid, has been shown to reduce inflammation in the gut by up to 50% in patients with irritable bowel syndrome. They're like ATP synthase, generating energy for your cells. In fact, did you know that the human gut microbiome produces over 1,000 different metabolites, many of which are short-chain fatty acids? They're the powerhouses of your cells, driving many of your bodily functions. Your microbiome is the battery that powers your body, and it's surprisingly resilient. It can even adapt to changes in your diet in as little as 24 hours. You can think of it like a dynamic, ever-changing city, with different microbial populations rising and falling in response to the food you eat. By feeding your microbiome the right foods, like fiber-rich fruits and vegetables, you can give it the energy it needs to keep you healthy and thriving. This is a pretty amazing system, and it's one that you have the power to influence every day. Your gut is like a second brain, connected to your vagus nerve, the information highway that's always on. It's fast, efficient, and constantly communicating with your brain. You might be surprised to learn that your gut has over 100 million neurons, which is more than your spinal cord or peripheral nervous system. For instance, research on the gut-brain axis has shown that certain gut bacteria can produce neurotransmitters like serotonin, which can affect your mood. Take the example of fecal microbiota transplantation, where a patient's gut microbiome is replaced with a healthy one, resulting in significant improvements in their symptoms, like the case of a study where 89% of patients with Clostridioides difficile saw their symptoms disappear after the treatment. It's a complex system that's still not fully understood. But one thing is clear, your gut is talking to your brain, and it's smarter than you think. Did you know that your gut can even influence your behavior, with some studies suggesting that certain gut bacteria can increase risk-taking behavior? It's a remarkable process that's happening inside you right now, shaping your thoughts, feelings, and actions in ways you might not even realize. So, are you listening to what your gut is trying to tell you? You're eating a sandwich, savoring the flavors, but meanwhile, your microbiome is working tirelessly behind the scenes. It's breaking down the carbs, absorbing the nutrients, like a tiny, efficient factory. For instance, when you eat a sandwich with whole grain bread, your microbiome is able to extract up to 30% more fiber from it, thanks to the diverse range of microbes living in your gut. It's producing vitamins, like vitamin K and biotin, and even making hormones that regulate your appetite and mood. But here's a surprising fact. Did you know that your microbiome is also influencing your brain function, with some research suggesting that it can even produce neurotransmitters like serotonin, which can affect your mood and behavior? It's a complex, intricate process, and one that's still not fully understood. You might not even notice it, but your microbiome is the unsung hero of your body, working around the clock to keep you healthy and functioning. Take the example of a person eating a diet rich in probiotics, like yogurt with live cultures, which can increase the production of certain vitamins by up to 50%. It's a remarkable system, and one that deserves more appreciation. Most people think antibiotics are harmless. But they're wrong. Antibiotics are like nuclear bombs. They destroy the bad bacteria, but also the good ones, leaving you vulnerable. For instance, a study on the antibiotic ciprofloxacin found that it reduced the gut microbiome by 25% in just 1 week. You're essentially hitting the reset button, wiping out your microbiome. It's like a barren landscape, your gut is a desert. But here's the surprising part. Did you know that the human microbiome is home to over 39 trillion microorganisms, outnumbering human cells 3 to 1? When you take antibiotics, you're not just killing bacteria, you're disrupting an entire ecosystem. Short term, this might seem harmless, but long term, it can lead to issues like digestive problems and a weakened immune system. You might feel fine now, but the effects can be devastating. Consider the case of Clostridium difficile, a bacteria that can overgrow in the gut after antibiotic use, causing severe diarrhea and colitis in over 500,000 people annually in the US alone. It's a serious issue, and one that you should be aware of before taking antibiotics. Fecal transplants are a thing, and they're gaining popularity. They're like a gut reboot, a fresh start. You're getting a new microbiome, which is essentially the ecosystem of microorganisms living inside you. This process is like a software update, where you're upgrading your gut to the latest version. Your body is the hardware, and your microbiome is the software that keeps everything running smoothly. For instance, a study published in the New England Journal of Medicine found that fecal transplants were effective in treating Clostridium difficile infections, with a success rate of around 90% in some cases. Surprisingly, the human microbiome is home to over 39 trillion microorganisms, which is roughly the same number of stars in the Milky Way galaxy. You might be wondering how this works, but essentially, a fecal transplant involves transferring stool from a healthy donor into your gut, where the new microorganisms can start to colonize and thrive. It's a fascinating process that's still being researched, but the results so far are promising. As you consider this, remember that your gut health is intricately linked to your overall well-being, and a fecal transplant could be the key to unlocking a healthier you. You are what you eat, but you're also what you host. Your microbiome is the key to your health, influencing everything from digestion to mood. Take care of it and it will take care of you. Feed it well with fiber-rich foods like broccoli and whole grains. Keep it happy with a balanced diet. Your gut will thank you, and so will the rest of your body. Consider the example of the Hadza people, an indigenous tribe in Tanzania, who have an incredibly diverse gut microbiome due to their traditional diet of foraged foods. They consume around 600 different plant species in a year. This diversity is thought to be a key factor in their low incidence of chronic diseases. Surprisingly, research has also shown that your microbiome can even influence your cognitive function, with studies suggesting that an imbalance of gut bacteria may contribute to conditions like anxiety and depression. So, will you take the first step towards a healthier microbiome today? What's the one thing you'll change about your diet tomorrow? Maybe it's adding a daily serving of fermented foods, like yogurt or kimchi, to give your gut a boost. The possibilities are endless, and it's up to you to make a positive impact on your health.